Hi guys, and welcome back to Determined to Praise. So as you already know, we're on the topic of faith over fear. I really hope that you guys have been enjoying this because I really I want to push people so hard to understand the whole faith over fear thing and really just learning to trust God in our lives and in different situations when things get hard. It's not going to be easy, absolutely not, but we have to know that all things are possible through Christ regardless of how it looks. So I really want to encourage you guys to just have faith over fear and just learn to trust God in a new way so that you can see Him in a new way and really just be able to see all the possibilities that can come forth through trusting Him, because man, I'm telling you, He'll blow your mind. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this so far in this month, the different things that we've been talking about. So today we're going to be talking about the enemy has a job. Now I wanted to talk about this because I know as Christians, especially for people who are new, coming into Christianity and coming into understand God and learn God, I feel like a lot of times we step into church or, we do something, we talk to God, and maybe things are going really great. Maybe God is really moving and we're like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And then something bad happens. And a lot of times we turn our anger and frustration to God, like, why did you let this happen? And we got to put it out there. The enemy has a job. Regardless of how much we love God, regardless of whether you're doing His will or not, regardless, the enemy, he's going to be there knocking. He has a job. And his job is to stop you from doing God's will. He's going to always come in, and he's going to always have something to do. And I really want us to be encouraged and know that, for one, the enemy can't beat. He can't beat us. He knows that. He just can't on the fact that we don't know it. And he's not more powerful than we are. We have the authority. We have the authority to, cast him away and cast him out. But a lot of times we just in having the faith of thinking that we can do those things. So we can beat him. He can't defeat us. But he doesn't want us to. He doesn't want us to know. He doesn't want us to think that. He doesn't want us to believe that. So he's going to always come with lies, trying to just confuse you and get you to feel like you're less than what you actually are. So I wrote a few things down. It says he wants to stop you from doing your job, which is God's will. Don't let his lies deceive you. Don't let his plans make you think less of yourself. He wants to cause division in your life, and your family, and your friends. That's literally his job, to cause division. And it's crazy because so many people fall for it because they don't understand. And I'm going to go into details in that in a second. He's going to do whatever he has to do to get you to quit. That's just it, period. He's going to do whatever you got to do. He's going to use whoever he has to use. And I always say it like this. You know how you have God and his Holy Spirit takes over and he uses people to do great things, right? Well, then the enemy, he's doing the same exact thing. He's sending his little demonic spirits and different things out to get people to do things they aren't supposed to do. And that's just the way it is. So, I want to talk about a few things. The first thing I want to talk about is, I don't know if you guys have heard of the artist Jonathan McReynolds, but he's really awesome. And I really like him. He was one of the first people I started listening to when I first started really going to church and things. I really like his music. And so in one of his songs called Cycles, he says, the devil learns from your mistakes, even if you don't. And when I first heard that, I was like, what? But then it started to make sense later on, because what happens is that we do things, right? Really not realizing that we're doing them. But we may do something. Say if you go around a certain person and you go around that certain person and maybe you want to cuss, or maybe you want to drink, or maybe you want to smoke. And you don't really realize that being around that person makes you want to do that. But the enemy understands, and he knows if he can put you in a certain place, put you around certain people or certain things, it's going to cause you to want to do those things, or it may cause you to want to do something you're not supposed to do. You know what I mean? Whether it's a person, it's a place, or it's a thing, it's something in it sometimes that just triggers us. And we may not always be aware that we have that trigger. We may just do it because we're just so used to doing it. But that's what the song is saying, cycles. The enemy likes to keep us in these cycles. And even if you don't realize you have that trigger or that cycle, he knows. And he knows, I'm going to get them back. I know they're getting a little stronger. They may be getting strengthened. Maybe they're trying to break free of that thing. Let me find a way to get them back into that cycle of repeating these habits. And it's crazy because you don't really realize it sometimes. And this is about, I feel like as you walk with Christ and as you understand Christ, he kind of reveals different things to us. And it's hard to see it if you're not listening to him, but he will really open your eyes and show you things that people of the world can't see because they're not focused on God, if that makes sense. It's really hard to see what the enemy is doing when you're not aware of what the enemy can do, if that makes sense. He's very crafty. He's very tricky. And he's always out lurking, waiting to find things to get you to slip up, mess up, whatever he can do to make you want to quit. And even if you do mess up, as I've said before in previous videos, get back up and try again. But see, the enemy, he takes advantage of that moment, and he's going to prowl on you, and he's going to make you feel like you weren't good enough. I told you weren't good enough. Why did you even try to do good in the first place? There is no good in you. Why did you even do it? You ain't good enough you ain't worthy enough. And that's a lie. It's a lie. And don't let those negative thoughts overpower your mind, because that's what we do. We get in that place, and the enemy literally just takes a hold. What we have to learn how to do is stand tall and go, you know what? Regardless of what's going on, regardless of how much I messed up, God still loves me. He's still with me. There's still purpose in me. He's going to still do works through me. Regardless of how badly I've messed up, he's still with you. He has not given up. So don't let the enemy make you think that he has. So next I have a few scriptures, right? This is the first one. Put on the full armor of God so that you can stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. That's Ephesians 6, verse 11 through 12. Now, again, the enemy, he's always up to no good. And there's so many people out in this world, right, that, okay, I'll put it to you like this. Don't always look at the person. When there's a person being mean to you, there's a person being rude to you, if there's like a place you go when you're just uncomfortable because you just feel like people mistreat you, don't always look at the person, because it's the enemy. Whatever he has to do to cause division, he's going to do. And a lot of times we focus so much on the person that we miss that it's just the enemy using that person. It's not always that person that's just mean or ignorant. It's the enemy using that person to make you feel some type of way, to cause you to act out, to cause us to come out of our character and become somebody else, or to do something we got no business on because we allowed our flesh to have a little bit more control than it should have had. And so I want to give you guys an example. I don't know if you guys know. I want to say her name is Priscilla Shire. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not. But she played on War Room. I really, really love her. She was amazing. But she was at this church and she was preaching. And she gave an example about how she was at a harvest festival with her children. And you know how when you go to those different, what's it called? You go to those trunk retreats and people decorate their trunks. So at the Harvest Festival, people were decorating their trunk. And there was a whack-a-mole game that all the kids were standing on to play. And there was a kid in front of her, and he was angry because he wanted to hurry up and be his turn, because he wanted to get in line and do the other things, and the whack-a-mole line was just taking too long. So he got so frustrated at waiting. What he did was run up. Now, mind you, she described it. It's, you know, you see two puppets. They're going up, and as you whack them, they're coming back down. You know how you play whack-a-mole. So a kid goes up there, the kid that's angry, he goes up there and he snatches it off. He snatches off the blanket. So now all you see is people underneath the table with puppets on their hands. Her example was, why does the mole keep coming back up? Why does the mole keep coming back up? Like, I'm hitting it and I'm hitting it and I'm hitting it, but it keeps coming back up. Like, how many times do I gotta hit it? Why does it keep coming? And you focus your energy on the mole, thinking that the mole is a problem, when really there was somebody underneath the table controlling the mole. And that was the problem. So what I'm saying to you is that the enemy is there, and he is controlling people, and he is causing the same way God makes good things happen is the same way the enemy makes bad things happen. Am I saying that everything bad is the devil? No. But what I am saying is that majority of these really evil things, and it's crazy because it seems like it's something so simple, but really it's just the enemy being at work. He knows if he can cause division, he's going to cause division. The governments and all these different type of things, these are just people that are under control of the enemy. And I don't think that they're always aware. It's like when you grow up and you were treated a different way, and now it causes you to be angry and mean, and now you take your frustration out on other people. Your intention isn't to say, I'm working with the enemy. But because you're angry and you have that that generational curse, that spirit in you, is causing you to act that way, if that makes sense. So a lot of people, I don't think they are even aware that they're doing it. They're just feel some type of way. They're just angry or frustrated or mad or sad or whatever the case is of what they have been through, what they may have experienced. But that's why you got to be careful of who you hang with as well, because sometimes we can pick up on things with people. I'm not saying you can't be friends with everybody. No, I'm saying watch your surroundings and make sure you're praying and you're keeping yourself safe, because you can love a person, and we have to always be mindful of what places and things that we're putting ourselves into, because our spirit, I know me, my spirit ain't strong enough. I have a very sensitive spirit, so I pick up on things really easy, and if I'm around certain things, it'll really attach to me, and I gotta like really, even certain things I can't watch that I used to like watching, because I just be going, I be like, I can't do this. My spirit is like, I feel it in my spirit. I'm like, no, I gotta turn off. I can't watch this. It's making me feel some type of way. I don't like the way it's making me feel, and I have to turn it off. So we just have to be mindful of what we're introducing ourselves to, and understand that not everything is of God, and we just have to protect ourselves. So I just felt like that was really important, and it kind of helped me even see more. It's like, oh, okay, like the enemy really be out here working and using people. It's not always that person is a bad person. They're just letting the enemy use them right now, and that's just what happens sometimes. So maybe next time a person is mean, or next time a person says something or does something, don't always go. We don't always have to get angry. We have to be willing to say, you know what? I'm not letting the enemy win today. He's not winning. I'm not about to argue with you. I'm not about to do this. I'm not about to do that. And sometimes we just gotta walk away and just ignore it. It is what it is. Not everybody can do it. I understand we gotta fight and prove who we are, but we really don't have to prove anything to anybody at the end of the day. We really, really don't. So next time you get into a brawl, or you get frustrated or angry at somebody for being a certain way or talking to you a certain way, just keep in mind that there's an enemy. He's at work, and he's trying to get you to say something, do something, respond to it to cause harm to you. So just try your best to ignore it. It's not easy, but just say it. Okay, so I have a couple scriptures written down. This next one, I wanted to say we have power. We have power. The enemy is at work, but we have power. Therefore, submit to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. That's James 4:7. Resist the enemy, and he will flee. Don't give in to the temptation when it comes your way. Is it easy? No, I understand absolutely. Because we all got things. We all got things that we struggle with, and we be like, I don't know. I'm about to say something. I'm about to do something. I'm about to respond. So we all got something. And I don't care what it is. We all have something that we struggle with. But we have to try our best to flee, because the enemy is going to take any little crack he can take to cause issues. I don't care how far you open that door. You may think, oh, I'm just taking a peek. It's not going to be that bad. The enemy's going to use that little peek, and he going to kick that door open, and he going to start causing problems. So we have to be mindful of what we're doing and where we're going, how we're doing it, how we're saying it. Be mindful of what you are doing, because the enemy is always looking for something. The next one is be sober-minded, be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion seeking someone to devour. That's 1 Peter 5:8. He's always somewhere looking, waiting to cause problems. He don't really need much, to be honest. He gonna take whatever he can get, and he gonna use it. So, and I'm not gonna say don't give him nothing to use, because it's hard. I get it. We're human beings. We got problems. We just be out here tripping some days. Some days we just not in the mood. We just don't got the time. We just don't feel like it. So I get it. You're going to have your bad days. And if you do have your bad day, just get back up, shake yourself off, and try again. Don't let the enemy keep you in that place of feeling like you're not good enough or like you're unworthy. Don't let him keep you there, because you are worthy. You're worthy because God says you're worthy. You're worthy because he created you that way already. You understand? Don't let the enemy take that from you. Don't let him play those mind games with you, because he's going to do it. He's always doing it. He does it to me. We all got to deal with it. But we have to realize that we're better than that. We're stronger than that. And that he has no power. He has no authority, no control. He can't win. He can only win when you quit, when you give up, when you say, all right, that's it. That he can't win. He cannot win. So don't let him make you. Listen, I try to tell people, that just, give you a little bit of encouragement. We like winning out here, right? We like beating people, right? Who doesn't like being a champion? Well, let's go around here beating the devil. Let's go around stomping on him. Every time he come in and he try to throw something your way, sorry, devil. Try it again. Try again. Send someone else. It ain't gonna work this time, buddy. I'm stronger. I got power. God is with me. You can't beat me. You cannot beat me. You may want me to think that. You may even want me to feel that way. But I know that I serve a God who is all powerful and almighty, and he has all the authority. And whatever he says is what goes. You can't do nothing here, sir. Sorry. Try not today. Try again. Another wrong person. Wrong person. And you just got to be able to listen. We give people that energy, right? You give people that energy when they get smart. Give the enemy that energy. Sorry, sir. Go knock on someone else's door, because you ain't doing nothing here today. Not my kids, not my husband, not my wife, not my children, not my family. No, nope, not my friends. No, back up. We're not doing it today. So we got to be able to fight back. And the last scripture I have is the thief's purpose is to steal and kill and destroy. My purpose is to give them a rich and satisfying life. That's John 10:10. So the enemy, he's going to always come to steal your joy and your happiness. He's coming. We can't stop that. So I really don't want people to feel like, oh, because I'm with God or because I serve God now, that means the enemy, he's not going to do anything, or that means nothing bad's going to happen. Not true. There's going to always be something. But I don't want it to make you guys quit or stop or think, oh, God is not with me anymore, or he gave up, or he let this happen, so he must be angry at me. Don't go that direction. Just know that there is an enemy there, and his job is to make us stop believing. His job, and I said this, I don't know if you guys watched the podcast that was that I was on called Great Minds with my friend Jasmine. It's been really, really amazing. We had a lot of fun last Friday doing it. It is on my Facebook page. I would try to get it uploaded on YouTube. But during that video, I spoke about this movie that my husband and I watched. It was called Prisoners, and this lady was going around kidnapping people's kids. And what she said in the movie was, my family is at a war. We're at a war against God. We're going around kidnapping these kids so that people can lose their faith. What we have to understand is that the enemy is doing things to make us give up on God. He wants us to believe that God is the one in control of all these bad things. He wants us to believe that God doesn't care enough about us, and that's why these bad things are happening. He wants us to stop trusting him, to stop believing in him, because, you know, most people always say, well, why is there a God in heaven and he's allowing all these bad things to happen? If there's a God in heaven, why did he let that happen, and why did he let this happen? But one thing we have to understand, right, is how we know what our God is capable of if we didn't go through these things to begin with. God is the one who steps into these situations and heals us and helps make us better. He's the one that steps in and shows us who he is. If we don't go through nothing, we can never understand who he is. He wouldn't have a chance to if everything was perfect and fine, right? You understand? What reason would it be for there to be a God if everything was perfect? There would be nothing. But there is chaos on the land because people are no longer following God. They're following sin and the devil and all the things they want to do. So chaos is happening. The devil is just out here having a ball. And he's hoping that we're too blind to actually see what he's doing, and that we just continue to follow these things. But we got to be mindful of what we're doing, what we're watching, the music we're listening to, the artists we're listening to. Because a lot of people are out here working for the devil. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's happening. Just because you don't believe it doesn't mean it's not true. But we have to realize that the enemy is out here working. And he's working, and he's doing a good job right now. Working and dragging people. That's what he wants to do, keep dragging people. But what we have to do is continue to trust in God, and we have to keep our eyes on him and understand that there is an enemy at work here. And that as long as we trust God and we put our faith in him, faith over fear, and we keep pushing for God, and we just ask him to reveal things to us and show things to us to help us to protect ourselves as we're out in this world fighting against the enemy. Because he will give us the strength. He'll give us what we need to fight. We have to be willing to, for one, see the truth. A lot of us don't want to see it because we like certain things. So we don't want the things to be true. We don't want it to be true. But we have to do what God needs us to do. We can't help bring other people to Christ if we're not willing to go the route and do these different things and be different. We have to be willing to step out and be truthful and give people what they need to hear. They may not want to hear it, but we have to do it because we can't help. So I pray that you guys really get an understanding of this. Because it's real. It's real. The enemy is real, and he is out here working. But our God is realer. So we have to trust in him and know that no matter what, he's going to help us win these battles. So don't let the enemy win. Don't let his lies win. Don't do it. Don't fall into it. And like I said, easier said than done, because we all have those moments. I've had a few myself. But we have to keep trusting in our God and know that he is faithful and that he is with us. And as long as we keep trying and keep pushing, the enemy, he can't win. He only wins when you give up. He may be able to slow you down, but you can't quit. Don't quit. Don't let him make you quit. Don't let him make you quit, please. I swear, if there's nothing else I can encourage you guys to do, please don't quit. I don't care what that thing is, how hard it is. Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. Because I was just telling my husband earlier, we get so close. We get so close. And the closer we get, the enemy is there, and he wants to make you feel like it's the opposite. And I'll give an example. Say if you're going through something, maybe you're alcoholic, maybe you're a smoker, maybe you're depressed, and you're praying for this thing to change. Lord, help the depression, or help me not be suicidal. You're praying every day. You're praying every day against that thing. You're praying every day against that thing. But we get to a point sometimes where we don't see a change, and we get frustrated. We feel like God ain't listening. God ain't moving. I've been praying about this for months. Why hasn't anything happened yet? Because you're right there. You this close to breaking that thing off. You this close to being free from that chain. And the enemy is aware. So now he brings something your way to make you feel like God ain't listening. God don't care. God ain't there. Oh, you trying real hard. You ain't going to never break this thing off, sweetie. This curse going to be with you to the rest of your life. Stop. You might as well quit, because it ain't going nowhere. Ain't nothing happening. Haven't you noticed that nothing has changed? Why are you still trying? See, he comes with those things that make you quit, but really you're right there. You're right there. You're right there. You're right there. And he doesn't want you to understand that. So he wants you to stop. Don't listen to him And please don't quit. I don't care what that thing is that you're trying at. You keep praying, you keep pushing, you keep moving forward. You do not stop. You do not back up. You keep going. You go around going. You collect your $200. You keep moving. Do not let the enemy stop you. Don't let him stop you. Because you can't stop him from doing his job. But what you can do is you can ignore those negative thoughts. You can ignore those thoughts. Those thoughts. If it's not of God, you don't listen to it. Do you hear me? You do not listen to it. You tell him to go. Devil, you must flee, because this is a lie. You're lying, because my God did not say that. Do not. Don't let him take your power. Don't let him take your strength. Don't let him do it. You tell him he must go, because he has no authority and no power here. And you push and you trust in God. Don't care how hard it gets. You trust in him and you keep moving forward. And you will get to where you're going. But you can't get there if you quit. You can't get there if you stop every time it gets hard. If you stop every time the enemy comes, because he's going to come. You tell that man to go. You tell him to get out of here. You don't belong here, sir. Bye. Skedaddle. You got to go. He has to go. So I really pray that this strengthens you guys. That you guys are encouraged. That we keep having faith over fear. Faith over fear. Faith over fear. Faith over fear. That we trust in God, guys. Trust in him. I promise you, when you see him move, you're going to be amazed. But you cannot give up. Don't let the enemy win. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Please stay encouraged. Please keep trusting God. Keep giving it all to him. I promise you guys, you'll get to a point where it's better. Please, 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 please. Have faith over fear in this new year, in this month, for the rest of your life. That's it. Having faith over fear. Trusting God regardless of what the situation looks like. So please stay encouraged. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, comment if there's something specific you would like me to talk about. And I'm also working on shirts right now. It's not uploaded at the time, but they will be sold on Etsy, and I'm going to work on Amazon as well. But they're going to be faith over fear. Listen, this isn't just about a t-shirt. This is we're making a stand here. This is a stand to say, no matter what happens in my life, we're going to trust in God. No matter what. It's a commitment to say that no matter what goes on in my life, that I'm going to put my trust in him. This is about, we're starting a trend here. And this trend is to trust God. Trust him. Trust him. Because listen, let me tell you something. This shirt thing, this ain't nothing but God, because this is nothing. I would have never imagined myself doing this. But it's something he placed on my heart, and so I'm going forth with it. But it's having, I can't tell you guys that faith over fear if I'm not doing it. So I'm stepping out on faith. I'm scared. I don't know what's going to happen, but I want to encourage you guys. Trust in him. So look out for the shirts, Faith Over Fear. When I finally get everything uploaded, I will post it on the Facebook page so that you guys will be able to look. But trust in God in this new year. Trust in him, guys. We're having faith over fear. So have a great day. Have a blessed week. And please stay encouraged, guys. Bye.